Welcome to Sunset Scents. My name is Christine and I'm one of the co-founders and the director of marketing and sales. And I'd like to take you on a little factory tour so you get to see the behind the scenes of how we make candles here at Sunset Scents. So let's go. Let's meet some of our fabulous employees. Sunset Scents started in March of 2020, but we didn't get into our factory until July of 2020, and a lot goes into candle making. I bet you didn't know. So this is Fred. Say hi, Fred.
Hello,
he is one of our fabulous employees and does most of the wicking here. All of our candles are hand wicked by our employees. And so Fred right now is wicking some of our Sunlight jars, and we have different jars for our specialty and our fundraiser, so it just kind of depends. And there is different wicks for every candle. Almost every fragrance has different wicks, so you just never know. But Fred, you want to tell our customers what is your favorite candle?
I think it'd be sugar cookie.
Sugar cookie, sweet sugar cookie. Definitely a fan favorite with our customers. You got to check that one out, especially if you like baking scents, for sure. So after Fred gets done wicking the jars, they all get stored over here. Like I said, we do have our Sunlight jars in large and medium, and then also our specialty jars. We have our Spa line, which is our blue jars right there. And so each month we come out with different specialty candles for you guys to choose. Sometimes it has to do with holidays, sometimes it has to do with just the time of year, because we do have different scents that are spring and summer and fall. But let's go check out how we mix the candles. So a lot goes into candle making that I bet you didn't know. So we have wax melters here at the factory, and once the wax is melted, you have to add in the color and the fragrance, and it has to mix at a certain temperature before you get ready to pour it. So let's take a look at our mixing. So this is our wax right now. It's all heated up, but we haven't added the color or any of the ingredients to make our fabulous candles yet. Okay. So first you add in the color into your hot wax so that it can get all throughout the wax. It does mix for quite a bit of time before it goes into our candle line and pouring, and you got to make sure it's measured correctly so that you're getting the same color every single time and that all of our candles look exactly the same. Some colors are easier to mix than others. Some colors have a lot of different colors involved in them, so it takes a little bit longer to mix. But what are we getting ready to pour, Vanessa?
The Fizzy Pop.
Fizzy Pop. So we're getting ready to pour one of our new spring fragrances, which is Fizzy Pop. Vanessa, what's your favorite fragrance?
Mine would be the Ginger Lime.
Ginger Lime. Yep, one of our most popular fragrances. It's one of our originals, and you'll definitely see some great reviews on our website with that. But how about spring? How about the new spring? What's your favorite?
I love the Sunflower.
Sunflower. So Vanessa is a floral fan. I am not, but she loves the Sunflower. That's definitely one to check out. So after you add the color, you got to add in a couple more things to make the colors bright and stay their beautiful, beautiful hue. And then some other additives that go into the wax as part of our candles as well. And then this needs to mix for a little while before you add the fragrance. So after we add in the color and some of the additives to help keeping our candles look bright, then we have to add in the fragrance, and it has to mix for a little while. So Elias is going to add in the fragrance. Obviously you got to be very careful when you're pouring it in, and it's got to be measured properly so that you know that you are getting the same amount of fragrance throughout every candle, and so that it gets the great scent throw, and one candle can fragrance your whole home. So the beginning of the candle making process starts with putting the jars onto the conveyor belt. We move them on, and then as the conveyor belt moves, they go through the first preheat. You always want to make sure to heat your glass jars so that when the hot wax goes in there, the temperature is similar, so you avoid as much bubbles as you can. Then once it goes underneath the automated pour spout, the candles begin to be poured, and we can set that at any amount of ounces or even as small as a tea light. So today you'll see that they are pouring medium and large, and then ahead of them are tea lights. Once we have poured the candles, we straighten out the wicks and we put an alligator clip on them to keep the wicks centered until the candles solidify. Then once they solidify, we take off the alligator clips and we hand trim the wicks. Every single one of our candles is hand trimmed. And right now we have tea lights that run on the line ahead of medium and large. So when the tea lights come through and they solidify, we then trim the wicks. And then they run under the final heater that makes the candles all nice and pretty on the top, so that then when you receive them, they're nice and flat and the wicks are straight. And then once they go through the reheat and they re-solidify once again and cool, then we take them off of the line and we wipe them off and we label the bottoms and we put a lid on them. And then they get shelved so that when you place your orders, we have plenty of candles to pick for you. Welcome to our burn lab. This is where we test all of our candles before they ever go out the door. We test the different colors and wicks in certain jars, just because it works in our regular sunlight jars, which is our medium and large, doesn't mean that it's going to be the same wick for maybe some of our specialty, but every single candle gets rigorously tested before it ever goes out the door to our customers. So candle making is part art, part science. You really have to make sure that you're measuring everything properly so that everything mixes together. And then also when you add the fragrance, that you're adding the proper amount of fragrance so that one candle can fragrance an entire room. So Cindy is showing us how we work in the lab with our beakers when we first start to test our candles before we make it into our big batches. Ooh, look how that color just goes together and mixes all together. It is a little like a science experiment where it goes from blue to purple to when you're mixing colors. Remember when you used to say red and yellow makes orange? Well, you need that in candle making. So in the lab is where my business partner Cindy spends the majority of her time with Elias, and they are the ones that test the candles and the colors and the fragrance and get them looking perfect before we decide to make big batches. So why don't we ask Cindy and Elias what their favorite fragrance is. So Cindy, what's your favorite fragrance?
My favorite is pomegranate. It's been an all-time go-to, and that in the core is my absolute favorite. You can't go wrong with pomegranate.
I agree. That's an original sunset scent, one of them that we first came out with, and hugely popular. Our customers love it. How about you, Elias? Which one is your favorite?
My favorite scent happens to be Dark Night.
Dark Night, not surprising because the guys love Dark Night. We have a lot of masculine fragrances, but Dark Night is the one that is in our core, and then we do come out with seasonal. It is an awesome blue, definitely something that would start out possibly looking something like this in the lab. So Dark Night is a great one to pick. And this is where we store all the candles. So this is our core line. We have 15 that go throughout the entire year. These are our most popular fragrances, such as cinnamon vanilla and fall leaves, ginger lime, of course, that is Vanessa's favorite, and we have pomegranate. These are in our sunlight jars in medium and large, stored underneath our current fundraisers. We do have 2 fundraising seasons. We have a spring and summer and a fall and winter. And then we have our seasonal candles. So we do switch out 15 seasonal scents in spring, summer, and fall. This season we have some great colors. We have Fizzy Pop, and we have an awesome green for grass. And then one of my favorite colors of the season is our pink, which is our peony candle. So if you love floral, this is definitely one for you. This is our large sunlight jar. And then we have our specialty candles that we store down here. We do have our spa line as well. So if you like something that's a little more relaxing, something for your bedrooms or bathrooms, your spa line comes in 6 fragrances and also in scent solutions as well. And this is our shipping department. Welcome to our shipping department. So we do ship FedEx or USPS depending on the size of the order. When you place your order, we print it out, and then we come and we pick the different candles on our cart. We put them in the box. Once they're in the box, we fill the peanuts in here. We tape up the box, and then we set it by the door for FedEx to pick up, or up in the front where PS picks up. This is also where we store a lot of our smaller products. We do have our scent burst right here that are unique to Sunset Scents. That's our own product. And then we also have scent slices that can be used in any approved warming devices, as well as our scent solutions, which are also better known as home fragrance oils. Those are all here in our core and our spring and our spa. And then we have our votives and our tea lights right here handy to go right on top of the candles in the box to make shipping even easier.